This is just going to be a short video about something that I posted on Instagram, and then I'll continue playing F-Zero or whatever I'm doing to waste my time, even though I have stuff that I should be doing. But I couldn't figure out if what I had posted just wasn't funny at all, or if it was going over people's heads. Because a lot of times I say things that are like kind of like sarcastic or dry or something, and I guess it kind of doesn't like translate. But yeah, what I did was, because I had found out that people were overturning cars and setting school buses on fire and stuff after they found out the next one, or after the next one. And, you know, you can guess who's doing that. But the point is, like, it's a little bit, like, counterintuitive to a normal person. Like, you would think you'd be at a bar drinking or something. And I'm, you know, maybe that's part of the problem. But to destroy public property because you won, you know, that's sort of counterintuitive to me. And so I wrote, this is what I wrote. It was like a story thing. Seeing images like this breaks my heart. I was really hoping the Knicks would win, and obviously they didn't. Till next season, everyone. And then I had that was the caption, and then I had, you know, pictures of the event where people were, and it wasn't just a random bus on fire. It was like, that's what it was pictures of what, you know, what happened after the next one. So part of that, you'd kind of have to know me in a way, because part of the reason that that's amusing is, like, I don't know anything about sports. I don't watch sports. And the only sport that I wouldn't have even known that the Knicks were playing unless people were talking about it at work. And the other day somebody said, "Remember to root for our Knicks," and then he left the store, and I said, "Yeah, I'll remember to root for them to lose." And somebody else in the store thought that was very amusing. And the funny thing is, like, I don't even care. Like, I cared a little bit, I guess. Like, it would be nice for them to win because it's been so long. And again, I only know that because people were talking about it. So it's just sort of like an absurdist type of thing, you know, like I was being silly. But anyway, I was thinking about, like, was it just not funny, you know? Or did it go over people's heads? And the fact that I'm even making a video about it is a little bit pathetic, I guess, but, like, I just felt like talking about something. And it was just obvious to me that the only response I got, and I had about 25 people look at it, because not very many people follow me on Instagram. Why would they? I'm sort of a nobody. But anyway, the only response I got was somebody saying, "Yeah, it's really sad that people destroy public property even though they win," something to that effect. And that wasn't the point of what I was saying. The joke was like, "Oh wow, I'm so sad because the Knicks lost. They must have lost, right? Because people are destroying public property." Like, the joke is that I assumed that they lost. And by the way, I was watching a Lily Gaddis video where she was talking about, you know, the usual suspects, and I'm not really into those videos so much, but I do sometimes watch her. But it was funny because she literally didn't understand. She as the video was going on, because she didn't know what had happened, she was just kind of saying her usual thing. And she was saying, "Wait a second, did they win or lose?" So she didn't even know because of what I was commenting on. You know, people are destroying public property because a team won. And, you know, typically you would think if you're really emotionally invested in a team, you're going to be upset if they lost. You're going to destroy public property if they lost. And even when I asked my sister, I got a comment that was like, her response was sort of like, I didn't quite understand what she was telling me. except that it kind of sounded like she was saying, no, people didn't understand your joke. They didn't get what you were saying, to the extent that I could understand what she was saying. Because she was basically commenting like, people do this whether a team wins or loses, you know? Anyway, so, like, I'm not even asking... I'm just kind of wondering, because I thought it was funny or else I wouldn't have posted it, and nobody responded that way. I basically didn't get a response, except for the one person who said, you know, that, yeah, it's really sad when people destroy public property and stuff like that. And like I said, I know so little about sport. Like, the football is the only sport where I know kind of when it's going on, that it's usually in January or February, the Super Bowl. And, well, no, I know baseball too. I think that happens in September, right? Usually, that they have the World Series. But, you know, but just as like a disclaimer, I don't care like who likes sports. I'm not saying that I'm so cool or whatever. It's just not something I've ever been into. You know, my boss kind of suggested that I go to a baseball game, and I was willing to do that. I don't think that's going to happen now, but, you know, he was encouraging me to do it, and I didn't know how to tell him. Like, I just, you know, it's just not what I'm into, you know, it's just whatever. But anyway, no, I'm glad they won, except for that, you know, reaction. But apparently they hadn't won since 1973, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it's whatever. Go Knicks. Anyway, thanks for listening.